Welcome. It is almost November at this point when we're filming, and it's just been slightly warm enough that we could actually work on some of the gardening and landscaping outside of the chicken coop. This is Faro and Flax, and they're enjoying a little outdoor time in the galvanized bucket. But I couldn't help myself and wanted to do some landscaping before it gets really cold and the snow comes, which it looks like it's coming in one more week. And you'll see that I started putting together this little shape here. And the way that I was thinking about it, like I saw this tree in particular. This is a metasequoia, and you're probably like, oh my God, a metasequoia, that's gonna be so tall. But this is a cultivar called Miss Grace, and it only gets about 8 feet tall and no more than about 4 feet wide, and you could train it. So how tall is this building, Sonder? About
probably like
12 something, 12 to 13. And so you imagine 8 feet would just touch, a little bit more than 2/3 of this building. So it's not gonna block the building. So I saw that as foundational planting. So the first plants that I got in here was the metasequoia. Then also, this is our native elderberry. The species is racemosa. So this is the red elderberry, but it has this aurea kind of ferny leaf. So it's almost like this chartreusey color, and it gets the red berries on it, which I thought the red would look really nice with the red in the background. And we'll show you, even looking down here, we still have some ilex berries, which are their winter berries, which get red berries. And I saw a bunch of cedar waxwings and robins in those trees. So when you're looking down, you'll see this hints of red. So again, this is our native racemosa. This will start to bush out. Then I got this quince, flowering quince. I'll have to throw up the name on the screen, but it's reportedly the reddest quince flower. So I think that would also, again, look pretty stunning. It'll turn into like a multi-stem bush, and then you could also cut the stems and train it and use it as like cut flowers as well. And then this is the other one I had purchased. Now, you may recall we did a tour in Connecticut at John O'Brien's nursery. And one of the plants that I saw as we were walking into his nursery was this hydrangea quercifolia. And out of all hydrangeas, the quercifolia type are my favorite. I love how dark maroon red they get during the fall. You can see that this one's just starting to turn. But this was one that he said is called Little Honey. And it has, again, that chartreusey kind of leaf that really attracted me to this plant. And again, I love how red it gets in the fall months. So again, this is going to be more shrub-like, but I just really like that kind of pop of green, especially as you walk back here into the woods. And then the last foundational planting that I got was this azalea or rhododendron, and it gets a red flower. And also you could see that they have these red new leaves and buds, and this starts to redden, kind of like a reddish purple color during the fall and winter months. And this will get, roughly maybe 6 feet tall and wide, and you could also shape it. And I planted this one on this side because that is south, this is east, that's west, and this is north. So I'm not going to be planting very much on the north side. The east side gets a little bit of sun, but also some shade. And also, this plant does not like to be around nut-producing trees. So things like black walnut and hickory, and we have hickory on this side and in these parts of the woods, but nothing here. You can see there's not much planted here, because eventually what we want to do in this area is create like a little agroforestry section where we have some fruit-producing trees. And then this would be a perfect place for our chickens and ducks to free range. When I have to spill out the ducky water when it gets too dirty, I could do that right from a little pail. We haven't really figured out how to create a more sensible system yet with the ducks, because the ducks were kind of a last minute rescue, if you will, like an impulse rescue. So, you know, we designed it for chickens, but then we brought farro and flax into the flock. The other plants that we're planting in here is we have a number of bulbs that leucojums that we planted. So summer snowflakes and spring snowflakes, we've kind of planted them in here as well. And I think I used roughly, how much Espoma garden soil bags did I bring out? I think roughly I've used 12 of them just to kind of build up some of the soil. Because as you can see, it's pretty mucky here right now. And it's also because we had to scrape this surface in order to create the chicken coop and create like a proper slope. And we're still working on that. And we're gonna be seeding this in as well. But a lot of the plants that I've planted around here, you can see that this is still in bloom, probably not for long. This is our native Verbena canadensis, and this is called Snow Flurry. And I really like this as a ground cover. It is about as high as it gets, and it really starts to spread, which I'm totally comfortable with. We also have some more of those geranium biocovos, which you may recall we planted some of those around the magnolia tree that Sandra had planted, 3 years ago, and we've started to create a soft landing under there. We have some of our Tiarella. This is our native Tiarella cordifolia. So in the springtime, it'll get like kind of this bottle brush style, almost like a toilet brush style flower, but it's kind of white with little tinges of pink. And then we also have some of the cultivated varieties of Tiarella. So this one has kind of red veination, which I think is really pretty. And some of these plants are also in our shade garden, which is near the common house. This is actually goat's rue, but it's not the tall kind. It only gets to be about yay high. And again, nice, really white bottle brushy flowers that come out in the springtime. This is one of our native heucheras, Heuchera americana. That will get a taller flower spike. And I planted the hellebore fetidus, the stinking hellebore. So that's in the back because those get 24 inches to about 36 inches tall. So these will hopefully billow out come springtime. You'll notice that also part of the landscaping that we're trying to figure out is we had chose some of these stones because our neighbor was building a barn into the side of their mountain, and they had dug up some of these massive pieces of bedrock slabs. They were so kind early on. This was maybe 4 years ago when we first moved here, and they were so gracious, and they said, hey, we'll just bring all these over if you want them. And we didn't quite know what we were going to do with them, but we consider this a great resource. So we had our neighbor Matt actually move them from one part of our property to here. We still have to set them because you could see that this stone is sloping back towards here, and we want it to kind of slope this way. So we'll have to figure out how to move that. That may be like a next year project. But I also brought in a number of these river rocks. They look a little drab right now, but we had like a really strong rain yesterday or a few days ago. And the colors of these are just so beautiful. And it not only matches the barn, but also matches some of the fallen leaves in the autumn months, which I think is really beautiful. Ideally, we get a crisper edge. Like everything is kind of hazy right now because we're just starting to put this in. I'm not too worried about the crispness at this point, especially because we're gonna be in winter in no time. But ideally, we get like a bit more of a crisper edge between garden bed and here. And we opted for stones as opposed to gutters at this stage because we went a little over budget with our chicken coop build. Not entirely so, but it was just going to be another expense for gutters. And we figured, well, let's try using a very Japanese technique, which is actually using these big stones. When the water drops down, it doesn't erode any of the soil.
Yeah, we'll make a small gutter for here.
Yeah, maybe
So
above the main door.
You're not gonna get rained on when you get out or go in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also tricky to put a gutter on something that's at an angle.
Again, these were 2 stepping stones that came from that same family of stones from our neighbor. And I originally had this here and realized, even though this was really heavy, it was too small for here. And so this one's really nice and level, so we won't have to move this again. And we will put more stone up to here, but we have some more things to finish around. We're putting deck boards around here to hide this predator guard and to really suck it into the surface of the coop. But otherwise, I really like how this looks. We're going to get some more smaller river stones and kind of put them in throughout so they're not so big. I'd like to get a couple more different sizes. And then we'll figure out the planting mix for this. I mean, I'm sure the plants are going to grow back regardless. It's just that the ground was like so disturbed. And you can see that we have nice grass out here that we just maintain with like mowing on a more regular basis. The sunlight is coming in though, you know, and this is obviously the winter months, so this garden is going to get quite a lot of beautiful light. And then lastly, one of the things that I think we're still looking to build off of here is some cold frames. And we're actually going to town today. Maybe when we get the reuse center, we could just look at some of the windows that we might be able to recycle if they have anything that's roughly, I would say, 3 feet by 2 feet. So a cold frame here and a cold frame here. And again, this is south facing. And then that way we could maybe put some seeds in here for up to winter for the ducks and the chickens. So that's another project down the line that's probably going to be maybe a next year project or the following year. It would just be like nice to haves, but it'll be part of the landscaping. And then we'll figure out like a road in and maybe a nice walkway in, and then the work tables here. But again, these were 2 massive stones that came with that same family of stones. I'm thinking that we could maybe lift this one up and we could have 2 really stately stones and do some landscaping around here as well. But this is our first crack at it. And I think in another year or 2, this is going to look really finished, but we'll keep you updated and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Oh yes, this shows affection. You go like this with her. Oh yes, a little affection. Yes.